All right, welcome to Independence University's Walk to Class. We're so excited that you get to start today. And what a walk to class is we're basically just going to go over what needs to be done today, how to get those things done, the 3 things that I want you to do today, as well as the 3 things that will be due this week. Briefly just show you where everything's at and kind of walk you through the class, just like the name suggests, so that you know where to go, what it looks like, because it can be a little bit confusing at first. Now what I have pulled up already is Mozilla Firefox. That is what the classroom works best with. So if you don't have Mozilla, download it. It is free. If you need help with that, you can call our tech support, which I'll be giving you that number later. If you already have it, great. Use Mozilla. It will save you some time because sometimes there's some glitches with some other of the web browsers. So what I'm going to do is I already have the page bookmarked, but you guys should have gotten your login and password this weekend from your student advisor. If you haven't, go ahead and type in the chat box. Let me know. But we're going to go straight to the link that you should have received. Now once you're on this page, go ahead and bookmark it. If you're on Mozilla Firefox, where you'll go is you'll go up to where it says Firefox in orange, click it, and you see where it says bookmarks, and then bookmark this page. And once you click that, it will be down there in your bookmarks, which will be right here. See, bookmarks. So go ahead and bookmark it, because that way you don't have to keep finding that same email over and over again, because this will be the same link that you'll use for every single one of your classes. So it's one you'll want to have saved. So when you're ready, you'll go ahead and log in, which typically your login is going to be your first name dot your last name, but sometimes it may be different just depending on how common your name is, if you're returning to us. Like your hallway. So you remember from orientation, there are 2 things you have to do and have to stay in class. One of those things is log in 4 times a week or more. If you're on this page, you're not going to be counted as logged in. Because again, think of this page like a hallway. So if you were at a campus school and you were in the hallway, your teacher wouldn't count you as attended because you're not actually in class. Same thing here. So what you need to do is you'll scroll down. You'll see this special courses. You'll actually ignore that on your end. And you'll go to CSS 101, which will actually be under a second or third like gray heading that says mod, and then it will say CSS 101 for most of you. Some of you that may not be your first class, but it will be under the mod section. So you'll always go to mod, then that class, and that will be your main class that will have points. Now the special courses are just refresher courses or courses to remind you, of things that you can do on your own time that don't count to or against your grade. So we're going to click on CSS 101, and now I'm in class. So let's go over just a few things in class. So the first thing that I want you to do when you're in here is I want you to go and do a daily checkpoint. That's one of the 3 things that I want you to do today. So you're going to come over to the left, you see where it says course home, and then you see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then daily checkpoint. So go ahead and click on daily checkpoint. And what will happen is it's going to bring up this page explaining what a daily checkpoint is, and then over here it's going to have a drop-down menu. If you scroll down, which sometimes the scroll bar, if it doesn't show up, I don't know why, sometimes it's weird. If you're not in Mozilla, you might have to click where the scroll bar should be, and then it will pop up. So you're going to go to the day of the week it is, and that's the daily checkpoint. So these count as like your attendance quizzes. Now you can only do a daily checkpoint on the day of. So say if it's Tuesday, I couldn't go back and do Monday, or I couldn't go forward and do Wednesdays. I'd have to only do Tuesdays, and those are only open from midnight Mountain Standard Time to midnight Mountain Standard Time. So we're going to click on Monday, week 1, because that's what day it should be, or maybe Tuesday. And it will tell us, okay, we have an hour, we can do this once, here's the date that we can access it. And then down here you'll see a little pirate girl. Now, in your actual class, this won't be here. You'll have a little button. You'll click Start. It will have some more instructions. You'll click Start again, and then you'll see the daily checkpoint. Now, most daily checkpoints are going to be a couple of paragraphs and maybe 1 question. Read the question first so you know what you're looking for. Then read the paragraphs. answer the question, and then you'll click Save and Submit. So that's all you'll do. It should only take you like maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe more depending on your reading time, but it shouldn't take you very long. Now once you're done with that, the second thing that I want you to do today is going to be your discussion post. Now your discussion post, as you should know from orientation, is something that you're going to have every single week. The main post will be due by Wednesday. The 2 replies for students will be due by Saturday. So there are 3 things in a discussion post you'll do. So what you'll do to get there is you're going to go to week 1, and then you'll see all this stuff for week 1. You'll see reading and tools, introduce yourself, discussion, scavenger hunt, and APA paper templates. So you're going to do discussion, understanding self, and it'll take you to this page. Now all the instructions are going to tell you exactly what you need to do, but I'm going to sum it up for you guys just so you kind of have an idea. So in this discussion, you're going to do your main post, like I mentioned. That needs to be 150 words. That's about 8 sentences, depending on your sentence length. And then you're going to respond to 2 other students' main posts, and that needs to be 50 words each. So like 4 to 6 sentences, again, depending. Now think of this a lot like Facebook, where you'd have a main status, and then you'd go and comment on other people's statuses. Only difference is you do want your spelling and grammar to be better, so no shorthand. So no like the letter U for you. You want full words, full sentences as best to your ability, good grammar. So what you'll do is just scroll down. You'll see you have 2 options. Your first option is to respond to a quote about open and closed doors, and then she has some prompt questions you can answer. Or you can complete the Myers-Briggs personality test and then write about your personality type and what that means in the workplace, for school, will that help or hinder you. You can do either. The first one is a little faster, but the second one can be fun as well. So once you're ready, you're going to click this little green plus arrow that says respond, and it's going to take you to a whole other page where you'll see the instructions again and in this box. So this is where you'll type So this is where you'll just type whatever it is you want to. So, you know, my name is Shaylee. There are many doors that have closed on me. Some of those doors are yada, yada, yada. So you can go into as much depth or, you know, as least depth and detail as you want, just as long as it's class appropriate. It's up to you. Now, there will be, so once you've completed, you're going to click Post Response. Now remember to count your words because you do want 150. So you'll just count them, or you can put them in Office Word that also has a word counter, and you'll just click Post Response. Now as you can see, there's these red unsquiggly lines. Just like in Office Word, that means something's misspelled, or it thinks it's misspelled. Since it's my name, it's not misspelled. But if it was a word, we would just left click on it, and it will say, oh, did you mean Shaylee? Did you mean this? Did you mean that? And it will give you options. The other thing you can do is you can go to this ABC with a check mark. That is also a spell check. So it doesn't have any suggestions because it's a name, so you can just ignore it. Okay, so once you're done with that, you'll go back. And when you guys are ready to do your 2 student replies, I'm going to show you guys how to do those as well, just so that you know. It's very similar. So once you scroll down beyond that respond, you'll see everybody else's responses. So you see this little plus arrow inside the arrow. You click that down, it's going to expand everything. So you'll see the main post of someone else, if anyone else has responded to that. So you'll read it. I took the human metrics, Jung typology test. My personality is INFJ. Da, 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 da. And so she'll explain what that is. And then when you're ready, you'll hit respond again, and it'll take you back to that same page where there's instructions, but this time you can see what you're responding to, and you'll just type up, oh, that's really interesting, you know, I don't work that way, or it's very interesting, I work very similarly, or I could see how that could be a problem, but it looks like you're working with it really well. Again, make sure responses are class appropriate and positive for the most part. You know, you're just interacting with your classmates. So it's okay to have discussions, but just make sure they're appropriate. And then remember, it has to be 50 words. So when you're done, you'll click Post Response. And then you'll just do it one more time. So I want you to do at least the main post today for the discussion. Remember, that's the main part. And then the other two you'll probably want to do tomorrow or today if you have time. So you'll do the daily checkpoint, you'll do the discussion understanding self, and the last thing I want you to do is watch your live lecture. Now, the scavenger hunt is a test, and the APA paper template can be confusing if you haven't watched your teacher's lecture first. So both of these do need to be done this week, but wait to do these until you've done the virtual classroom. So go to virtual classroom, and you'll see this lady with a futuristic computer, and it'll tell you about what a virtual classroom is. Now this is also where you'll see when your live lectures are. It will be different for every class you're in. So at the beginning of every class, you'll want to check that. For instance, this one for this particular class is Monday, 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So it might be different for your time zone. Remember, if you're not in Mountain Time, you'll probably have to convert this because all times will be in Mountain Time. The first link will be for the live session. If you miss it, it is recorded. Don't worry, you can go to the second link for the recorded session. We're going to go in so that I can show you what it will look like. So if you're going to the live session, you're just going to type in your name for attendance. Remember, it is mandatory. You're going to click Login. Now, this screen should pop up, and you'll click OK. Now, sometimes when you do that, it may not pop up. The page may go to, you need to download an update. So you might need to update your Java. That's very common. I just updated mine, so it's not going to show up. But if it does say that, just go to java.com, download the Java 7. It is free, so don't worry. It's pretty easy to do. Just download it all the way and then come back to this, and it should run. You might have to turn your computer off and then back on, but it should run just fine. Now this security warning will pop up. Yours may pop up like this. It may pop up on the bottom down here. You're just going to click Run or OK anyway. Okay, it's just loading. We're going to give it a sec so I can show you what it will look like. And it may take it a second. You guys can't see it because it's on my other screen, but there's a little like pop-up window that says loading. So that's what you'll see. Okay, so this screen will pop up and it will still be connecting. It will say, okay, authenticating. And this one doesn't have anybody in here because obviously it's the live session and it's not the time that the teacher would normally do it. So it's just me in here, but you'll see a list of your classmates as well as your teacher. You'll hear her talking. There'll probably be a PowerPoint, and then you can type right in here to ask questions, respond to questions, and your teacher will be able to answer you like live. So the recorded version is going to be basically the same thing. The only difference is you're not going to be able to interact, obviously, because it's recorded, but you will be able to see what went on. So in the recorded session, the only thing that's different is you're going to have to go through this step. Now, depending on what week it is, because it's week 4 for us in this mod, this current mod, there's 4 lectures that have been recorded. So you want to go to the 1, because you'll be in week 1, and you're going to click on this little purple circle, and it'll take you to this. So same thing, just type in your name and your email, because that's for attendance. Not a valid email address. That's not true. We're going to click view recording. Same thing. So it's going to pull up the same way, and then it will just autoplay, so I'm not going to show you guys that. Okay, so the 3 things I want you to do today, and you can write this down if you need to, is the daily checkpoint, the discussion understanding self, at least the main post, if not the other ones, and then watching your live lecture. Now, for some of you, your live lecture may not be up until tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. That's okay. If that's the case, do at least these two and watch the live lecture when it does come up. Now, the 3 things that have to be done by Saturday so that you stay in class is the discussion, Understanding Self, the scavenger hunt test, and the AP paper template. Now, remember with the strike policy, you must have all your homework in on time, because for any missing or late assignments, it's 2 strikes per missing assignment. What that means is you can really only have 1 assignment missing at all. You want to save that though, because emergencies can come up, things get forgotten. You want to make sure you have that just in case you need it, because it's automatic. If you have more than 1 missing assignment, you'll just automatically be taken out of class. So, you'll just want to stay on top of it. Just save it. Just save it for when you need it. So, just to go over a little bit more in the classroom, is this red bar up top. This is where you'll see your grades. Click on Gradebook. This is where you can see, this is, your percentage. This is a breakdown of what's going on. And if you click on the grade, it will actually pull up this window, and it doesn't show it here, but you'll be able to see teacher's notes. You'll be able to see what you turned in, how many replies you did, if you want a breakdown. Now, email is how you can email your teacher. This is one way, and I'll show you the other way in just a second, but this will be a list of your class members, and your teacher should be at top. You can also see your instructor at the top right corner. So you'll click on her name, click add, and it will come over here. So you'll be able to type in a subject like questions or, hello, or whatever it is that you're emailing her about, and let her know, hey, I just had a quick question on this. I didn't quite understand. In here, do you have other resources, or whatever you're emailing her about. Now, in doc sharing, this is where your teacher will upload different lists, different templates, or study guides, things you may need. This is where that will be. And then Dropbox is where you'll turn in your assignments. And I'm not going to go over this too much because you won't be using this until after you watch the live lecture, which should go over this as well. But you'll be clicking on Submit Assignment. Dropbox is a lot like an email attachment, so you'll be attaching your papers and things here. But again, there will be instructions, plus I want you to watch the live lecture to see that. Now there's just a few more things I want to show you. If you go to Syllabus, this is where your instructor's contact information is. So if you want to email her from your personal email, give her a call, leave her a voicemail, you can do that, as well as it does give you the information about the course, learning objectives, class rules, what you can expect, what the grade breakdown is, all those things. So you'll want to look at that every class you have to for sure get their information, and also look over it as the class rules, as well as just getting what you need from it. Now the only other thing I want to show you guys is Shark, because this is where your tutors will be. So if you're working on these things, you find you get stuck, and you can't get a hold of your student advisor or your academic, admissions consultant, feel free to use the Tutoring Center. The Tutoring Center is the best. It's free. You always have access to it in all of your classes. For every single class you have, you'll go to Shark under Smart Thinking link, click Tutoring Center, and then you'll be here. So as you can see, they have some for every different subject. If you're confused on where to go, you can always just click this big blue link here that will take you to the main tutoring center, and they'll help you out from there. But since CSS 101 is such a big class, you have your own section. So you'll click CSS 101, and it'll bring down this time menu. This is when your tutors will be available throughout the week. Remember, this is in Mountain Time, so I believe they have a time converter right here, if you're confused on that. So you'll look, okay, it's the right time, the tutors will be there, so then you'll click Enter Tutoring Lab, and it will be the same way that you got into your live lecture. So you'll type in your name, click Login, and it will bring you to that chat room. And tutors are really nice because they can screen share with you, so they can actually see what you're doing on your paper or your project and assist you that way. It goes a lot faster. A lot of them are instructors or graduated students. They're all people who know what they're talking about, so they're wonderful. So again, if you're on Course Home, then you'll go to the left, you'll go to Shark, you'll click Tutoring Center and CSS 101, double check the time, and then hit Enter Tutoring Lab. So those are the main things I want to show you. Just remember today, the 3 things that you need to do will be your daily checkpoint, your discussion understanding self, and your live lecture. And then by the end of this week, you do also need to have the scavenger hunt and the APA paper template done as well. So it will be the discussion understanding self, scavenger hunt, and APA paper template by Saturday or earlier. Because remember, anything that's late past Saturday will automatically give you strikes, and you can only have 3 strikes before they'll kick you out of class. So just keep that in mind. We want to make sure everything's on time, and then you guys should be good to go. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat box. We're happy to answer. If you're having trouble with your login information, make sure you let either us know or your your admissions consultant know, because that way we can make sure it gets fixed. Since you do need to log in those 4 times a week, we want to make sure your login's working. So feel free to let us know. Now there are a few numbers you will probably want to write down. The main one being the tech support for students. So we do have a tech support. They're wonderful. They're our masters of our computers. If you need help downloading Java, getting into the live lecture, or anything like that, or your computer's acting funky, give them a call. So their direct line is 866-888-3768. Again, 866-888-3768. And that's the tech support for students. If you just have the general number, their extension is 1112. Again, 1112, that's 1112. And they're a great one to have. Now, if you have any questions, again, let us know in the chat box below. Go ahead and log into your classroom now so you can double check your login and get started on your work. We're really excited to have this experience with you, be by your side. We're here to help you out. And, if you don't let us know what you need, we can't help you, and that's what we're here for. So